First off, without a male role model, I had to learn how to tie my tie by myself. It was a little picture book. I had to look at the picture, how to turn it, flip it, all that. I had to tie my tie by myself. I had to learn how to tie my shoe by myself. In fact, my oldest sister helped me. But it's just the little things like that. Knowing how to tie a tie. You know, my grandmama, the one that taught me how to hold the door for a lady. But there's a lot of tools that we miss because only a man, a real man, can teach you how to be a man. And it's the little things.
Little things.
The women, hats off to them because they doing an excellent, wonderful job. But ladies, it takes a man to teach a man how to be a man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, William Robinson, coming at you live today from the studios of TLC, Talk, Love, and Communication. I believe that all problems, circumstances, situations can be resolved through the proper channels of love and communication. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Greg Watt. He's going to input some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding upon us. He's going to share some of these good things he's doing out in our community. We only got one life to live, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a whole lot easier with love and communication. We're going to give my guests a special round of applause. How you doing now, Mr. Watt? Everything going all right?
Yes, sir. Everything's going good. Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you, man. You know, we spoke a couple times on the phone, man. You know, I was looking forward to this day.
Yeah, we done spoke some hours now. Good conversations.
Great conversations. We're going to carry on today. You want to tell my audience a little bit about yourself, sir?
Well, my name is Gregory Watts. I'm the Vice President of the Marion County Redhawks. We're a nonprofit 501(c)(3), and what we do is we get the kids in the inner the city. We got a program. We teach them. We teach them the fundamentals of football. Not only that, we try to teach character, wisdom, and most importantly, we focus on their academics. Mm-hmm. I wish we could do a lot more, but like I said, our resources are limited. You know, trying to get buildings, trying to get money to pay for them, trying to get volunteers. Most important, the volunteers.
So how do if I have some audience that wants to be a volunteer, how do they go about achieving this, sir?
Well, all they got to do is come down to us. We got some forms that they can fill out. They fill out the forms. We go ahead and, because right now, when you volunteer for football in Florida Elite, that's the conference that we're in. Florida Elite is like the SEC of youth football.
Okay.
You got a lot of teams in it. So they have a grace period and window that you have in order to get volunteers certified and they form filled out, background check, all that other type stuff. But as far as somebody that want to come out and volunteer, just come on out. You know, of course we're going to do their background check. We don't want killers and all this other rapists and all the other stuff around our children.
So what's the qualifications? Just pass and make sure you don't have any warrants or anything of that nature. And where you say come and see us, so where are you located, sir?
Well, as of right now, we don't have a home building. That too costs money. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for the football season, we at the YMCA field from 6 to 8 p.m. My president, you know, he got contact information. I do. My commissioner, Chris Taylor, he has contact information. And my athletic director, who is Rod, he got contact information. And I just want to say, Rod Williams, I think that's his name, Rod Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He got a lot of pull in the community. Very respected, nice guy. So is Chris. Chris, nice guy. Regardless of what people may say or think, those two guys, they in the community and they about the community.
So Rod is commissioner, Chris is the president, and you are the vice president, correct?
Tashiro is the president. I'm the vice president. Chris Taylor, he's the commissioner. And Rod, he's the athletic director.
Okay, so basically, once again, all my audience have to do is come down to you guys at the YMCA Tuesday through Thursday from 8 to 6, from 6 to 8, and come approach one of you guys and you'll lead them in the right direction, correct?
Most definitely. We take anybody that's all about the kids. You know, the thing is, when it comes to kids, we have to set an example. We are the ones that they look up to. You might come out there and volunteer and just be a coach.
Mm-hmm.
But to some of them kids, not only you're a coach, you're a mentor. To some of them, you might even be a father to them. Because a lot of these kids growing up in single-parent households.
Right.
And the only male figure that they have is their coach. So not only we teaching football, we teaching them how to be young men. And that's very important. Because as you can already see what's going on in the community, these kids is killing kids. Some of these kids don't even reach 18. Before, even with Don't Be a Menace, you know, kind of funny movie, you don't even reach the age of 21. How we go from 21 to 18?
That's right.
That's crazy. But it starts with us. And if youth football, the platform, is a way to get the kids to come in so we can teach them to be young men, I'm going to do that.
You know, football, you know, I was a football player, you know, and football teaches you discipline at an early age.
Yes, sir.
Football teaches you accountability. You know what I'm saying? Because you understand that your mistakes can affect everyone else. Your ability to do what's right affects everyone else in a positive way. You know what I mean? And it's very important, you know, and as a coach, there's a lot going to coaching. You know what I mean? I remember from me, myself, coaching football, and after the season, man, you miss the kids, man. You know, because you form a bond with them, and a lot of them look up to you as a father figure. You know, I just seen my high school coach. I've been out of high school 30 years. And when I see him, it's Coach. You know, not Jim, not Mr. Simmons, but Coach. You know, you forever be Coach, you know?
Respectfully. When you see your coach, you come respectfully. It ain't no, hey, dog, hey, man. It's, hey, coach, how you doing?
And whether we realize it or not, when you're a coach, you hold a position of authority. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think about, you know, coaches and, you know, and when you out there coaching, you got all those people in the stands, all those kids on the sideline, depending on you to make the right play. They're depending on you to put them in the best position to win.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So when you think about football, did you play football yourself, sir?
I played football when I went to high school. Back when I was growing up, all we had was MCYFL. And when you're in a single-parent household on one fixed income, it was all it was. It wasn't no money for that. So I grew up, you know, people might say sandbox type football, but I grew up in the shore. So we would go down to the ditch and play football in the ditch. Tackle football, no pads.
No pads.
No pads.
Straight from the muscle.
Straight from the muscle. You got tackle, you got tackle. If you ain't want to get tackle, you better have some juke moves and speed.
That's right. Barry Sanders ain't had nothing on me back in my days. So I tell you, how often do you see that, sir, to where you have kids, and how does it affect you personally when you have kids that want to come out and play, they love the game. You know what I mean? And knowing the qualities that this game can teach our young men and to keep them occupied and the exercise nowadays that it gives the kids. And when you have parents that can't meet the financial needs, how do they go about getting assistance and how does it affect you as an individual, sir?
See, they have a program called Every Kid's Sport, if I'm not wrong. And that's a nonprofit organization, actually up there in Philadelphia. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the 76ers donate lots of money to them. But what it do is it help low-income kids be able to play football. And it's like they sign up, they give them a card, they put the funds on the card for that organization. And they give a card to the organization and say, here. And the max that they do is only $150. Mm-hmm. And they actually getting stricter on that. So what we're going to do and what we have to do is we try to set up payment plans. Hey, do like $30 a month, $50 a month. We try to do the best that we can.
And how much is it for one kid to play for the season?
For us, it's $180. $180, you get your uniforms, book bag, different things like that. For our nonprofit program, we look for sponsorships. And I'm going to be honest, not everybody's sponsoring. It's a few good people out there that sponsor that they want to be kept anonymous. And I appreciate them for it. And I tell them that every time I see them, I appreciate it.
Man, shout out to the sponsors, man, from Marion County Red Raiders, man. It's for our kids, man. Y'all show some support, man. Donate to this organization to keep these kids focused, man. Give them something to be structural and where they can have structure and discipline within their life, man. Go ahead, Mr. Greg.
And like I said, thank the Lord for those ones that sponsor. Appreciate them. A lot of the coaches, even board members, we come out of pocket. Quite a bit of money. Too much money, you ask me. But at the same time, it's for the kids.
That's right. The
kids that have helmets, kids that have pads, kids that have uniforms. Some kids need cleats. Some kids need to eat. It's a lot that goes on to it that people don't understand and realize. See, some of these parents, they might look and just, hey, they can do this, they can do that. Yeah, we can, but it's coming out of our pockets.
Right. That
we have to take away from our family in order to make ends meet. But we find a way. Like they say, when there's a will, there's a way. And God is going to always pave a way when your heart's in the right place. And I love what I do. I love being around the kids. These kids, like I coach 7 and 8 year olds, and they have some of the best personalities. They're kids. Kids is going to be kids. Just like people are going to be people. And people are going to do people-like things. But I'm just blessed to be in this situation and be able to help the kids. Hat goes off to my president, my commissioner, my athletic director. They go out, they pick kids up, they feed the kids, or games like we just went down to Clearwater. My 6U head coach, which is the commissioner also, he rented a motel room, loaded up all them kids in the SUV, took them down there.
I did an interview with Mr. Jamie Gilmore Jr., Cut Different organization. And one of the things I got from that is, sometimes when you're stuck in a rut, your imagination is small. Mm-hmm. And if you can't visualize it, you can't have it. Mm-hmm. And it's good to get these kids and you take them and let them see other things so their mind can expand.
Yes, sir.
And understand that I can obtain these things because I've seen it. Mm-hmm. A lot of things, I was out there teaching my nephew, and I said, "How do you know about that?" He said, "I seen it on YouTube." You know, so by him seeing it, now he can imagine it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's so very important. And I noticed earlier you spoke of, you know, God will provide for those whose heart is in the right place. So you are a spiritual man, correct?
Absolutely. I love the Lord. I love Jesus. You know, he
Amen.
knows my heart. We have to keep it in the right place.
So when times get tough, funds get low, what's your go-to scripture?
Well, there's a will, there's a way. And I can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthens me.
That's right. That's Philippians 4:13.
Yes, sir.
You better believe it. We can do all things through. Jesus, Christ Jesus, who strengthens us.
Yes,
and
sir.
you know, that's so very important. You know, I believe that you have to have a heart. You know, coaching is no different than teaching, and because you're hands-on with these kids. These parents are entrusting you with their kids.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not a small task. You know, and understanding that task is very, very important. And understanding the lives that you're touching, you're shaping, molding these young men to be mature men, because young boys who don't know how to communicate grow up to be angry men. You know, what's your outlook on that, sir?
See, when it comes to football, you know, you got some kids that got aggression and they need an outlet. Hey, you got some aggression? Here it is. Put them pads on and go hit. But I'm going to tell you one story. It's with a kid. I met a kid over there on Carver Park. We was just doing a little practice in January off season. Just a little something. I ran into this parent. And I seen this kid. This kid was a big kid for his age. And, you know, being football, you know, hey, how old's your kid? What's he doing? Who he play with? Yeah. And she say, you know, he doesn't really play for anybody. He goes to school and, you know, they say he got ADHD. And the teacher, it's a white teacher, can't handle the black kid. He's big. Big for his age, big size. So what they want to do, they want to medicate him. Not only do they want to medicate, they want to put him in an alternative program. But I'm talking to this kid, soft-spoken, mannerable, yes, sir, no, sir. And I'm like, how can this kid be so bad that he got to go to alternative school? See, the thing is, you got to have the right person teaching them. We know about these kids. We know how to handle them. And he go to football practice now, does a good job. We work him out. But just to see him having to go to alternative school and be heavy medicated because of who he is and that they can't handle him. Listen, I come from Philadelphia and I grew up in a school with all black teachers who know how to handle us.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, when I was growing up, you know, with no time out, you know, go standing in the corner. I can remember my teacher telling we had a PE teacher named Miss Thomas. She was the disciplinary. She was the coach. You know, and Miss Bright told Miss Thomas, just come on by once a week and powder them 3 right there. It's something they don't got away with. Just once a week, just come on by and get it to them. You know, and I'm screaming, man, I ain't did nothing. You got away with something, she say. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, she was right. You know what I mean? But that was so many years ago, you know, and the world will tell us that kids are different. Children been being born for thousands and thousands of years. Well, what make these last 10 years different for these kids? It's no different. It's the parents has changed. The structure has changed. The order in the family has changed. You understand what I'm saying? Every generation, sometime when we grow up without, we have a tendency to want our children to be better off than what we were. And each generation do that to the point to where there's no accountability anymore. But see, that's what I love about football. Football, anybody ain't going to play football.
No.
You know what I mean? Football is a sport. You have to love it. To be out there in that hot sun with all that equipment on And on top of that, somebody slamming you to the ground and you getting up again with the heart and the desire to get him back. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's so very important for the right people. Yep. Like you say, you have to have a heart. It's just like the medical field. Anyone can go and get a degree in a doctor, nurses, or working with any kind of, giving any kind of service. But you have to have a heart of hospitality.
Yes.
Now, and also understand it's not a dictatorship. Just because you're the coach, it's not only your way. Allow him to explain how he feel. But a great coach, them kids will run through a wall for you because they believe in you. You know what I mean?
Oh, most definitely. And see, you got to understand too, as a coach, you got to deal with the parents too. And not every kid is a Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders, Michael Vick. They not that.
Greg Watt.
You know, or Greg Watt.
Okay,
you know?
Okay.
They not that. You try to get them there the best way you know how. Some kids just, they not ready. They not with it. So you're trying to do the best you can with the kid. But at the same time, you got to deal with the parents, more than one in your ear. Hey, he need to be running the ball. Man, your son is like a slow-moving train. He can't hit that A gap, one gap, however you want to call that gap. He can't hit it like Tyrone hit it. Tyrone can hit it and go.
And it's such a sensitive topic because they are the kids. You know, so how do your league deals with, you know, like, do every kid play? Or, you know, just the starters only?
Well, you got 11 people that can be up on the field. And you got your subs, and we sub them in and out. But everybody has a role. Just like in the world today, everybody has a role that we play. Not everybody going to be the president of the United States, secretary of defense, vice president. Not everybody going to do that. You got to work to be that, you know? And you just have to know the role. But as a coach, you have to take a kid, work them out, and figure out where that kid lies. And once you figure out, you know, hey, that kid's a good blocker. Hey, that kid's a good tackler. Hey, that kid can catch. He can defend. He can throw. He can run. You have to figure all that out and then put them together. And that's your recipe. And that's how you got to do.
So as far as playing time, it's just like high school or the NFL or college. The starters play. We got a blowout. Hey, I put you in. If it's a fight to the end, hey, maybe next week.
Just like matter of fact, yesterday we went down there and played the Clearwater Tornadoes. And we got a pretty good lead up on them. And we just started subbing people in, running the ball. Just go ahead and run it. Because we know it's going to be some games that the starter's going to have to do their thing. But when you get a team that you can get a good lead on, you got to rotate them in and out.
Yeah. So, tell my audience, where do you guys play your home games at?
Our home game is at Ocala Regional Sportsplex, not too far from Westport. I'm over there by Airport Road.
Okay, I believe that's off of 80th, correct?
Yeah, 80th, 60th, one of them, Airport Road. You just go down that road, make a right.
Okay, Airport Road is 60th. Okay, so the Sportsplex company. Okay, so you guys are a traveling team, so you do travel from city to city, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you know what I mean? So when they come represent, they represent Marion County.
All day, every day.
352, baby. Y'all got to come out and support these young men, man.
I'm trying to tell you. And I love these other organizations that's out here. Not just us. You got Trade Man Elite. They in the Florida Elite. And you got the Ocala Thunder. They in the Florida Elite, too. And one thing about it, I will never knock another organization that's trying to help these kids.
So whose idea was it to start? Tell me how this organization came to be.
Well, we had an experience on a football team that we felt like could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
And we felt like we can do better. So me and my partner, we just sat down, talked about it, had to come up with a name. I threw some names, he threw some names. We agreed on one. He went out there, filed the paperwork. From there, word of mouth spread fast. You got to find the right person. I'm going to tell you something. Ocala, if you got the juice, you got the juice. You got to find a person that got the juice. And that's what we did. And they were able to help promote and bring the kids out. That's why I tip my hat to Rod Williams as well as Chris Taylor. Because they came in, they brought the kids. And everything they do for the kids. They go pick up, they do a lot. Not saying just them. You got other people and other organizations that do the same thing. But for the Red Hawk, them two, that's the backbone.
Mm-hmm.
And I love them two guys. They're my brothers. The thing is, I ain't been knowing them my whole life. You hear about them, you see them around, but when we got together, we talked, we expressed our views. Hey, we a brotherhood now.
So what was the process? So once you come up with this idea, you say, okay, we want to start our own league.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say we went and done the paperwork, what paperwork are you referring to, and what was the next step to get it from A to Z?
Well, you got to get your 501(c)(3). Once you go up to the city hall, whatever, do the 501(c)(3). They register you with the state. You get your state ID number for a tax exempt. And once you get all that, you establish.
Okay. So for my audience now, you say the 501(c), that's for non-profit organization.
Yes, sir.
So anyone that wants to start a non-profit organization, it's called a 501(c).
Yes, sir.
You go fill out the paperwork, and there's a fee, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so you pay the fee, fill out the form, and you are officially a non-profit organization.
Once you get that tax exempt ID number, you're official.
Explain to my audience what's the difference in a non-profit having a 501(c) and an LLC.
Well, I'm not sure too much about that LLC part, because anything with LLC, you pretty much a profitable organization. Mm-hmm. And when you're a profitable organization, some people donate money. They can't get no tax write-off for it. So it's like, hey, I'm going to give you $1,000 and I know I can't get it back. What a nonprofit, they sponsor you $1,000. They, use it as a tax write-off. They get that back.
Right. Okay. Okay, so this is your first full season, correct?
Yep, we going into week 4 now.
Okay, and how has the season been going? What's the record? How many teams do you have?
Well, we supposed to have 5, but we got a 6U, 8U, 10U, and a 12U. We got 4. The 5th one is 14U. But in Florida Elite rules, none of the kids can be playing high school football. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of hard because you got some kids that go to high school. They're going to want to play high school ball too. But see, with Florida Elite, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You got to choose between the two.
Right.
So it's kind of hard getting them age groups like that. So we kind of took a back seat on that, and we focused from 6 to 12. Our 6U, I think, is the best 6U in the state of Florida.
Okay.
And I'm going to stand on that.
Okay, so you're undefeated?
That 6U's undefeated, 3-0, haven't given up a point yet.
Oh, y'all defense biting like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got some 85 bells out here in the Red Hawks, man. Mm-hmm. What y'all helmets look like, man,
Oh, right now we just got the all black. We haven't gotten the money for the decals yet. But we looking to do that year too, coming out there with the decals on the helmet, some new uniforms. Oh, yeah.
Man, audience, get on that, support the Red Hawks, man. The Marion County Red Hawks. These guys going from city to city representing your community. The great 352, baby. That's how we do it. We're going to show them how we do it down here in Marion County, man. We're going to show them some love. Get these young men some helmets, man. These are our kids, man. Let them go out. When you look good, play good, you win big, baby. You seen what Dion did this week. We got to fight, man. Believe in these kids. Show them some support, man. I tell you what, Mr. Greg. Tell me something throughout your life or someone throughout your life that has been a great influence upon you.
Okay. When I first started football, when I first went to Lake Worth High School, I'm a Lake Worth High School alumni. Go Canes. You know, I actually got kicked out my freshman year. I was a bad kid.
Off the football team or out of school?
Out of school.
What?
I'm trying to tell you, man, I ran with the roughest and the toughest.
So let me ask you something. What was the transformation? You know, man, you go from the 9th grade, even though you're a kid, you're 14, maybe 15 years old, into the man that you are today, to where you are trying to stop the kids from making the same mistakes you made, sir.
See, when I went to the alternative school, it gave me a wake-up call. I'm in a classroom only like 6, 7 people. And I'm like, this is it. You know, I was like, I got to get back into high school. There's more girls out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, so once I got done with that and I got back into high school my sophomore year, I wanted to play football. I love football. And that's when I ran into Nate McCullough. And he got me in the door. My sophomore year, I rode the bench. Reason why, you know, you had freshman football back then, and they had all the freshman players moving up, so they already pretty much had their team. So I had to work extra harder than what the freshmen moving up to sophomore had to do.
Even though they losing every game, huh?
Even though.
Yeah, but it was rough for Lake Worth back then, man.
It was rough. It was rough. But let me tell you, towards the end of that year, I got me a starting position. Okay. And I was on the line, and then I played a little nose tackle, you know, just get my feet wet. But Nate McCullough, after the season, he said, you should go ahead and look at doing wrestling. It's going to help you on your foreign tackling. Okay, I tried that. I went and did wrestling. We ran a lot, worked out, good experience. And it did help me on my tackling. I ain't gonna lie to you. My junior year, I came out a stud. But not only did I do wrestling, he got me into weightlifting. And from weightlifting, I went into track. I stayed busy. But the difference is when I was doing school activities, I had new friends around me. I didn't have them kids in the street no more. I had kids that wanted to do something, wanted to be something.
Right. People that was doing like-minded things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have different kind of experiences, kind of like exposing the kids to things. You know, you form friends on the team. Mm-hmm. And sometimes there's something about the football squads and the teams, man. It's like a lifetime camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? You still have some friends from those high school football teams you still friends with today?
Look, man, Reese McCall was my quarterback, and my job was protecting. I love Reese McCall. LaRod was our running back. So was Burt. And there was a lot of other people, but even Henry Raines. There's a lot of us, a lot of them weirds, the Ocklawaha boys.
Shout out to pretty ass Rob, man, Robert Howard Jr., man. Shout out to him.
And we had a good team. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think we had one of the best teams in Marion County. I'm always gonna feel like that, no matter what anybody said from North Marion, Vanguard, Forest. You know, Forest had Roosevelt Ross out there, and he rode that thing.
Yes, yeah.
He had little JJ out there. Yeah. And then you had little James Man. Yeah, I said little James Man out there in North Marion.
Yeah, man, there was some pretty good squads. You know, I was coaching at the Forest during those years. Mm-hmm. You had old Jeremy Vickers on that squad. You know, he's the defensive coordinator at the Forest High School now.
Hey, shout out to Jeremy Vickers. He's doing a lot out there in the community. He got a teen summit going on right now today with the kids. They got guest speakers, guest music artists coming out there. They got a lot going on for the kids right now as we speak. And I tip my hat to them because we need that. We need Black African American males and females out there. And he's showing up. And like I said, I tip my hat to him. I appreciate it. It's more than just him out there. You got the Ponders, you got the Cut Difference. A lot of them, I can't name them all, but you know who you are out there, and I appreciate y'all, what y'all do out there in the community. God gonna bless y'all, you know.
Shout out to Derek Ponder, man, at Urban Style Beauty and Barber, man. Shout out to Cut Difference. You know what I mean? Give these boys some love, man. They doing some great things in our community. So tell me, Mr. Watt, what's your most regretful moment in life?
That's a good one. You trying to get me with this one? Mine's is not playing football sooner. You know, I wish I could have played the MCYFL, because if I'd have played the MCYFL, I would have had all the tools and fundamentals I needed going into high school. I wouldn't have never got kicked out my freshman year. And I probably could have been playing college somewhere, because you got to look at it like this. When I came there my sophomore year, I only had 3 years to showcase what I can do. And I had to work extra harder. If what I know now back then, I would have did that. Because I grew up without a male role model, you know. And for the kids coming up without one, I know how I feel. That's why I try to be one. And I love what I do, but that's one. Yeah, that'll probably be that one.
And how did growing up without a male role model, how do you think it affected you? And what have you done as a mature adult to make sure it doesn't happen to the kids that you are around, sir?
First off, without a male role model, I had to learn how to tie my tie by myself. It was a little picture book. I had to look at the picture, how to turn it, flip it, all that. I had to tie my tie by myself. I had to learn how to tie my shoe by myself. In fact, my oldest sister helped me. But it's just the little things like that. Knowing how to tie a tie. You know, my grandmama, the one that taught me how to hold the door for a lady. But there's a lot of tools that we miss because only a man, a real man, can teach you how to be a man. And it's the little things.
Little things.
The women, hats off to them because they doing an excellent, wonderful job. But ladies, it takes a man to teach a man how to be a man.
You know, it's funny you say that. I got a grandson. By me being in prison, you know, I come home, my grandson, 8 years old, about to turn 8. And throughout everyday conversations that you have with kids, the authority that a man have upon this earth is placed into each and every one of us. And it's something about a young man when a male figure speaks to him, it just registers different. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm his grandfather. He saw me in prison a few times, but it's just different. And I was explaining to him about money. I always ask him, you got some money? And he say no, so I always give him a couple dollars and say every time a man should always have money in his pocket. I used to always talk to him about money. And he asked me, he would see me take my wallet out. And I asked him, I said, you ain't got no wallet? He say, no, Papa. And I say, well, Papa gonna get you a wallet. But he didn't want the wallet because he looking at it as big, it's kind of, you know what I mean? So I went explaining to him about wallets, and I was explaining to him about me getting him a little bank card so he can have money on his card. He need to understand these things. I'm trying to instill this in him.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I say, son, don't never let a woman know how much money you got.
I'm trying to tell you.
I say, every morning, I say, you get your money, you count your money. I say, you take your wallet with you. I would ask him, I say, well, where your money at? Oh, he says home. I say, you should always take your money with you.
Yes.
I say, what if you with your grandparents or your grandmama or your mom and you want McDonald's and mom ain't got no money? You tell her, well, pull over, I got my own money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to teach him these things. So fast forward, about a year later, my mom is, he was finna get ready to leave, so my mom was finna give him some money.
Mm-hmm.
So she had like a 20,
mm-hmm.
and I guess she was asking him how much money he had first. She said, how much money you got? And he looked at her, he just shook his head, no.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, how much money you got? And he say, my papa told me don't tell a woman how much money I got. And I just looked at him proudly. That's right, son. You know what I mean? That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's something he'll never, ever forget.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that goes with so many other things in life. You know what I mean? I remember growing up and, you start smelling yourself. You go to moving a little slow when mama tell you to do something.
Mm-hmm.
She getting a little big, the little whooping don't hurt. The last whooping ain't hurt that much. So it don't matter no more. And my mom called my uncle. So I'm playing over to my little friend's house. My uncle come get me. This the good uncle, the one got all the fast cars and take you to the restaurant. So I'm thinking I'm finna go with Unc. And he snatched me up against the wall.
Uh-oh.
He jacked me up and said, don't you never, my sister by now never call me again and tell me you talking back to your mama. You hear me, boy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And I still remember that today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I owe you too, Unc. I got you when I see you. But you know what I mean? These are lessons that are very important. I learned from my football coach to always set your clock 5 minutes fast.
Right.
Right now to this day, when I set a clock, it's 5 minutes fast.
Mm-hmm.
Always. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what's the little things that you instilled in you? You have sons, sir?
I got two of them.
Okay.
I got two of them, and I got a girl. Let me tell you. My oldest boy, I gave him his wallet when he turned 5 years old. That's when he got his first wallet. Put a little money in there and have him keep it in his pocket. But let me tell you something. Because his name is Ashton. That's my boy. He turned 8 in April. He always saw me with my wallet. And he said, Dad, I want a wallet. Can you give me a wallet? I said, yeah, I'm going to give you a wallet. And I did. I got him a wallet when the time was right.
Mm-hmm.
When I knew that he can keep up with.
Responsible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he still laid around here and there. I see it and I get on it. Yeah, keep that wallet with you. Keep it in your back pocket. Always keep it in your pocket. Now, my younger boy, he'll be 5 actually tomorrow. I got to get him one.
Shout out, man. Happy birthday to the youngest son, man.
Yeah, Cairo Watts. He going to be the next best thing around Ocala, right behind Ashton.
Okay.
You can check out my Facebook. I'll be putting some highlights up there.
So your son playing your league?
Yes, sir.
What position?
He does, right now, he does running back, quarterback, corner. We did have him at safety, but it wasn't working for him. And that's the thing. See, that's my son.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he can't do that. And the other coaches know he can't do that. So you got to put kids in position where they can succeed.
Sometimes, safety, you got to be a little patient.
Mm-hmm.
See, sometimes you could be overly aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
In safety, that aggression is bad. I know football is aggressive, but if you're a little overly aggressive at safety, it could cost you.
Yeah.
So I was out watching Vanguard play against Miami Central,
mm-hmm.
and someone was talking to me, and they say, "Oh man, that safety man, he supposed to come up and hit him." I said, "You gotta understand, he's the last safety net.
Mm-hmm.
His job ain't to hit hard. His job is to secure the tackle.
That's right.
Because if you get by him, it's highway to heaven, baby.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to be a little patient. Like you say, sometimes you had a dad coaches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have you ever had to, give me an example of your worst case of dad coach?
Worst case of bad coach?
Dad coach. You know, the dad that want to tell coach the son on the sideline.
Well.
No names.
Well, tackle football last season, the team I was with, I haven't really had too much, you know, because we didn't really have much. So everybody got utilized. It wasn't until flag football over there, NFL flag, where you got the parents. They coach from the sideline. And it's like, I'm going to do the best I can with what I have. I'm going to make sure I put us in the right position to either score, you know, because I do offense and I have my defensive coach. So we're going to score points, you know, but I can't run. And I had a little girl. I did 6U, 8U. I had a little girl, Mina. Boy, that girl was fast. That girl, shoot. Over the whole season, I think scored over 20 touchdowns. I'm going to try to tell you. That girl can go. And I had some good athletes, and they scored some, but I knew with her, I give her the ball. She going to go get it for me.
Tall, sweet right, tall, sweet left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where do you see the league in 5 years?
Which league?
The Marion County Red Raiders.
Red Hawks.
Red Hawks, I'm sorry.
And you know what? The Red Raiders, that was actually one of the names. But it was a team that already took that. Mm-hmm. So the Red Hawks was next. But it's funny you said Red Raiders because I like the sound of that.
I guess I'm thinking about, because I coached Pop 1 a long time ago, and you had the Marion County Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Marion County Red Raiders. You know, I just, you know, shout out to Marion County Red Hawks.
Yes, sir.
So where do you see the lead in the next 5 years, sir?
5 years, I see us taking over travel football. It'll be us, and, you know, you got Trey Manning laid out there and Citra. But 5 years, oh, yeah, we coming. You know, first-year organization, we got winning records. We looking to do big things. But most importantly, taking care of the kids. You know, we don't have the resources like MCYFL do. Yet. We don't. We are average Joes, work, come to practice. And like I said, a lot of things we got to come out of pocket for. And our pocket's not extremely long, you know. I never count a man's pockets, and I'm never going to let a man know what my pockets is. But just know we working hard with what we got to make ends meet. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that. And we doing a good job of it. We got 150 brand new helmets. And, you know, we went with the pad, some new, some used. But we had to do what we had to do in order to get the program running.
How would you like to be remembered?
I want to be remembered. Bobby Bowen, Florida State, baby.
Bobby Bowen, Florida State. Daggone it. So you sit down in that living room and recruit that kid, they coming on over there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I tell you what, sir. We're going to play this game called Fill in the Blank.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions. You're going to answer them honestly, quickly, precisely. And we're going to have a little fun. We're going to let the audience get to know who Greg Watt is, the vice president of the Marion County Red Hawks.
All right.
I've always wanted to.
Let me drive the boat.
I love when someone
smile.
If I had to do it all over again, I would.
High school, all over again.
My childhood crush was.
Oh Lord, you gonna put me on a spot like that?
It might have been an actress. You better say actress.
Halle Berry.
Can't go wrong with Halle. You got some competition over here, buddy. My favorite holiday is
Labor Day.
And why Labor Day?
2 weeks be my birthday.
Okay. Labor Day is tomorrow.
Yeah, 2 weeks from Labor Day would be my birthday.
Okay, I got you on that. The best quality someone can have is
trust, loyalty.
It aggravates me when someone
grind their teeth.
If I was God, the first thing I would change is
people behavior.
If I could travel anywhere in the world, it would be
Paris.
Who?
Paris.
Where?
Paris.
Paris, okay. Okay. My favorite movie is
Oh, my favorite movie. So many of them. I'm just going to tell you. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking that juice in the hood.
If I could go back to any age, it would be
let's say 16.
Jesus is
my savior.
When I meet someone, the first thing I notice is
the teeth.
If I could ask Jesus one question, it would be,
how did we come here?
If I could have dinner with anyone in the world, it would be,
I would say Steve Jobs.
Smokey or Dede?
Dede,
okay. See, a lot of people say Smokey just for the sake because he was first, but I think Dede was funner than Smokey.
Man, Dede was a character out of this world.
What's your favorite part? What's the best role he got that you like? What's most memorable?
I liked him when he came in the next Friday. When Pop said, "Hey, that crazy girl out there again." When you just standing there looking, just hugging and stuff. Then he came out, girl, what you doing? You supposed to be 1,000 feet away from my house, girl. What you doing? You can't quit me. I'm pregnant with your baby. That ain't my baby. That's my baby. Girl, you kill my. And when she maced him.
You better believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Ford or Chevrolet?
Chevy.
Burger King or McDonald's?
Burger King.
Pizza Hut or Domino's?
Pizza Hut.
Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes.
Red beans and rice?
And a biscuit.
With the honey?
The honey. With the fruit punch.
Marvin Gaye or Teddy Pendergrass?
I like Marvin Gaye. Some Luther Vandross. A little
Aaliyah. Okay. I like that. Okay, let's go. Keith Sweat or Art Kelly?
R. Kelly.
Make It Last Forever or How Deep Is Your Love?
Make it last forever and ever, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Honey Love or I Believe I Can Fly?
Honey Love.
Lil Wayne or Drake?
Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm.
If you had a choice between Halle Berry or Whitney Houston?
Whitney Houston. Reason why? She would still be with us today.
Amen.
I'm trying to tell you, that woman could sing. She could sing. The best national anthem sound. When she sung that national anthem, you felt that thing. I mean, it's sad.
Jennifer Hudson or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Vocals. You think Beyonce got better vocals than Jennifer Hudson?
Vocal wise, I think if Beyonce can do it, yeah, she can do it. I think
Jennifer Hudson the closest thing to Whitney.
Yeah, but Beyonce's still relevant.
Yeah, I'm straight singing. But hey, you know, that's another day, another conversation. I tell you what, sir, this is a part of the episode where you, Greg Watt, get to ask me anything.
Listen, we had talked. And when we talked, you said something and I was like, that was real. I told you when these kids commit crime, I said, it don't register until the judge give them years and they be behind bars. And what did you tell me?
I'm not sure what I said that day.
You told me it registers when you got it cellmate or any inmate in there that you know. They do them 5, 6, 17 years and they go. And you left there by yourself.
Yeah.
When you start seeing people roll up and go home and you stuck there knowing that you're going to be there for the rest of your life and people just keep leaving you, that's when it registered. And I never thought of it that way.
You know, that's why my passion is so great, man, because hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, man, the prison system, man, you know, and it changed from when I came to when I left. There were so many kids in prison towards the end, you know, and what's sad is that at certain prisons, it's worse than being on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the violence. There's so many of them until they join these gangs. Because a lot of times they're scared. When they first walk in the door, they lay on their bed, they read books, they scared.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk, but as they get comfortable, you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes they get, oh man, it's like this, it's like that. And you have the older prisoners nowadays want to act like the young man. Rather than the young man acting like the convict, you got the convict acting like the kids.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? There's no direction. There's no guidance. You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad, man, because to be 19, 20 years old, man, and they give you a free 5-minute phone call. Every Monday you're allowed to get it, you know, from Monday to Monday. The first phone call you make is a free 5-minute call. And you don't have nobody in the world you could call.
Everybody busy. Life is still going on.
But you don't even have phone numbers. I mean, that has to hurt. So what they mask it and cover it up like we do as men. Act as if it doesn't matter. You know, so we act tough, man. I don't give a damn. I don't care about that junk, man. Bump that. You know what I'm saying? When I was out there, I was getting it. I was doing this. I was doing that. And you stay trapped in the past. That's why their mind doesn't evolve. They constantly tell stories about what they did in the past. And they try to prove to, it's like, I'm a little older than you, but growing up in the 80s, that's why TLC had the song Scrubs. You know, it was a flogging area. You know what I mean? Everybody just flogs and, you know, these crazy conversations, you know, and they don't elevate their mind, man, and it's sad, bro.
Sad.
You know, I just interviewed a retired correctional officer just the other day, and he talked about that. And, you know, and this man was different. This man wasn't a regular officer. He would stand up to other officers for what's right. If that inmate was right, he would stand up to that officer for that inmate.
All right.
And that's rare. You understand what I'm saying? And just for him to come to this studio, as me as being an ex-inmate, that tells you his viewpoint of me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I tell you, man, the kids, man, they're lost, man, and we have to. That's where I want to expand. That's where I need my audience to donate, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody love you, cash up with a U. PayPal, Robinson74William@gmail.com. You know, we need to donate because I want to be able to collect calls from prisoners and record their interview over the phone and play it back to the audience so these young men could hear these stories of how these people was out. Some people learn from listening. You know, if I hear this story, I may not have to go through it because I heard your story. So when I see myself in that situation, I could think about Mr. Watt. But Greg, hey man, he got 30 years for that.
Let me tell you something else, what they need to bring into the school system. Anger management. Everything these kids do is out of anger. And if they don't know how to contain, control their anger, that's where it comes from.
Communication. Learning how to communicate properly.
That's it. And what you're doing with this platform is beautiful. Keep doing what you're doing. It's going to get bigger. And people are going to listen. And they're going to understand. Anger management, communication, having that person that they can talk to. Understand. Been there, done that. You got to get them before they do it. I went through anger management. But I didn't go through anger management until I was like 21, 22, 23, around there. And the tools and equipment that I learned, I use it to this day.
That's right. It does help, you know. At 22, 23, 24, I was still walking around angry. And sometimes you're not aware that you're angry. You understand what I'm saying? To you, it's such a norm until you are not aware that you have an anger problem because it's normal. It becomes common to you. Right. And, you know, throughout my anger management courses, I used to argue. It was like me and the lady was in there by ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? The rest of the class ain't done but listen to us debate. You know, and it wasn't, they used to show us videos of situations and they'll ask the class, well, whose fault is it? Or what you would have done in this situation. And every time I agreed with the aggressor. You know what I mean? You know, I could tell you a 1,000 ways why he was right or whoever was right. You know, and it wasn't until I went back to the dorm and throughout the week I was encountering situations and I realized, oh man, I'm acting like the man on the video.
Trying to tell you.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until then that I realized that, hey, I might have a problem. You understand what I'm saying? And I learned about the volcano man, where you just take stuff and let everybody do stuff to you. You don't express your emotions, your feelings. You don't communicate. So you let it build and build and build, and then all of a sudden it's a big eruption. I learned about the invisible man, when you just disappear, act like you're not there. You know what I mean? Stay outside fixing on the lawnmower all day so you don't have to come in and confront the issue, the situation. You know, the silent man, where you don't talk. She's trying to communicate, but you just don't talk. You just, you know, and a lot of men do that. That's what we do because, you know, women, they could be a little, you know what I'm saying? They're more emotional. And when they're emotional, they're expressing themselves. But what we do as men, if I tell you one time, Greg, I don't like when you know, I don't appreciate that, bro. See, I don't have to say that to you again. I gave it to you. I know you got it. You're looking at me in my eyes. So therefore, when you do it again, that's telling me you don't care. Intentional. See, but when we're in relationships and sometimes our spouses, we have to understand that women don't operate like that. No. So, and I have to remind myself that she's a woman. You have to. You know, because if I mention it to her and she does the opposite, that's telling me that you don't care. You're not respecting my wishes. And you know, you want to act accordingly, but she really don't mean it like that. No. A woman thinks the way a woman's gonna think. And a man is gonna think the way a man is gonna think. And you can't, as a woman, you can't think for me. You can't predict
what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say. And I can't do that with you neither. I can't read your mind. You got to tell me, us men, we simple. We are very simple beings. I don't need no hint. I don't need no beat around the bush. Woman, if this is what you want, tell me.
Straight up.
Tell me.
Straight up. Simple as that.
Simple. Once you understand that men are just think and do. We just do. Tell me what you want and it's done.
We're a little more logical. You know what I'm saying? You can show 10 random women and 10 random men a problem. And the way each gender go about solving it is going to be totally different in most cases on the average basis. You know what I'm saying? You know, men, most men, we don't lose our keys. We're going to put them in the same spot every time.
Every time.
When we take our shoes off, it's in the same spot every time. We're going to put our shorts, our pants, same spot every time. So when I'm looking for my keys, I'm either going to look A or B. If it's not A or B, where did you move the keys to?
Come on now. Say it again.
And you know, my favorite thing is, well, I guess the ghost did it. Because I'm going to put them, if I've done it 1,000 times, here or there, and if it's not here or there, I guess the ghost got it. You know what I mean? That's just, you know. But you know, I understand women, to their credit, they have a lot on their plate. You know, nowadays a woman work 8 hours a day just as a man work 8 hours a day.
Yes, Lord.
So why do me and you get to come home and kick our feet up while she have to cook every time and get the kids ready for bed and homework every time? You know what I mean? They want to know what it feel like to walk through the door and she smell a little chicken frying every now and again. You know what I mean?
And see, I'm glad you said that. Because not only do you have to do fatherly duties and husband duties at home, you have to balance that with the coaching because you're giving your time up. That's the time away from your family. That's the time away from your kids. And you doing so much more. But that's time that you're giving up. And you got to balance that. You got to know how to balance that. Why you got to communicate.
And that's something that the parents need to consider when they go to biting your ear off about things and playing this and playing that. Because some parents, sadly to say, they look at it as a babysitting thing for 2 hours.
Come on now.
You know, if you want to be truthful, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's probably plenty of days where you're there because it's a kid left and the parent an hour late when you got your own wife and kids home.
Come on now.
That may not be eating because we're trying to wait for dad to come home so we can eat as a family. You understand what I'm saying? So these are all things that we as a community needs to take heed of. You know, be responsible, be accountable.
Yeah.
Because if you're late for your kid, this is your kid. What if he leaves the kid? Now it's the end of the world. You understand what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. You know, we must be accountable and hold. Everybody need to be held accountable. I'm gonna tell you something about going to prison. I believe, man, everybody is held accountable for their actions, man.
Yep.
Straight up. I went into 18, man, whether I believed I deserved it or not. The worst part of what I went for, I did. Now, did I deserve the time I got? It don't matter. That's what the law said they was able to do. They did it. I ain't cried. And I come home and all of these, nobody want to be responsible for their actions. People feel like they can say what they want to say, do what they want to do without consequences. I don't understand that. Every man should be held accountable for their own actions.
Yes.
And that's the reason why most people run from God. Because they don't want to be held accountable. Once again, everybody wants Jesus, the Savior, or when I'm sick, save me from being sick.
Not only that, they sit down and they say, well, Jesus is going to make a way. Are you working for that job?
Faith without works.
Come on now.
It's dead.
Dead. dead. And see, the government made it easy for them to do that. That's the problem. That's the real problem. I can understand if you handicapped, disabled, can't really do, I understand that. But if you can walk a mile, 2, 3 miles, walk it, move around, do all this, go work.
You know, I was just with a young man about 3 days ago. He was saying, you know, he come from another city. You know, he went through a situation, a bad breakup. So he kind of came back home and he was talking about, you know, going to work, you know, going to day labor, whatever. I said, man, you know, we got a relative right here in town, man. You know what I mean? It's a couple blocks. I can't get to work. Hey, man, that's a couple blocks.
Mm-hmm.
You walk to work, you do what you got to do. I said, man, you're healthy. I said, man, I wish I could work. I wish I could walk 6 blocks to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that. You know what I mean? Sometimes we take our health for granted, man.
Yes.
And life itself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? A friend of mine was just telling me that, you know, communication.
Mm-hmm.
He say when his wife wake up, it's Facebook.
Mm.
She fall asleep, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that upsets him. But whether he communicated this to her or not is another story. I don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, sometimes we get so caught up in A, B, and C and we forget what's important.
Mm-hmm.
But when he walk out the door or he go to tipping over here places he ain't got no business, now you love him.
Mm-hmm.
Now the phone don't matter. Now you can't eat. Now you can't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
We have to cherish the things that we have right before us, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Okay, back to AMA. You any questions for me, sir?
I think we done covered a lot, and we gonna do a lot. This just the round 1. We gonna do some more rounds.
That's right. That's right. So I tell you what, sir, I want you to look over my shoulder here into that camera right here, sir, and you're gonna tell my audience how to get in contact with you. Tell them about your organization. Any last words you have for my audience, sir?
Hey, for my audience out there, be you. Don't be nobody else but you. Be accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And it doesn't hurt to talk to somebody. Talking helps a lot. Expressing yourself helps a lot. Marion County Red House Vice President, all about the kids. Hey, we here. My number 352-895-3116. And call me. And we'll take care of you.
That's right. Marion County Red Hawks.
Whoop, whoop.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, William Robinson, coming at you live from the studios of TLC, Talk, Love, and Communication. I believe that all problems, circumstances, situations can be resolved through the proper channels of love and communication. Once again, I want to thank my special guest, Mr. Greg Watt.
Yes,
you can donate and support to this channel at Cash App. Anybody love you with a U. PayPal at Robinson74William@gmail.com. And if nobody told they love you today, William Robinson loves you.